Got a 2007 stretched out. Peter built a new dirty.
You got a gist of it, though,
Yeah. All right, guys, here we are. Everyone keeps asking the big question about electronic logs and whether you can use your smartphone and whether you can use some of the apps that are out on the market. Well, a lot of them aren't legal, a lot of them aren't accepted, but here's a solution for you guys, especially the smaller fleets. If you guys want to do this in an inexpensive way, I'm going to introduce you to, and his name's not even showing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go. Terry Frey from Big Road, and he's going to just give us a really quick rundown of the app and what it's all about here.
Absolutely. Sounds good, Jerry. Thank you. My name's Terry with Big Road. I actually started Big Road 4 years ago.
And where are you out of, by the way? Just to
we
throw
are
that in there.
based out of Kitchener, Ontario in Canada, believe it or not. But when we talk about that, our business is all in the United States. So we built this company to satisfy U.S. small trucking fleets. Today we work with over 250,000 truck drivers in cabs of trucks, helping them solve this whole dilemma about how they complete their logbooks. We actually created the first company to create electronic logbooks on a smartphone. And if many drivers already know us, but this is what the application looks like. It kind of gives you everything you need to do to create your logs as if you were doing it on paper, but on a smartphone. We started by saying, let's make the paperwork go away in the cab of a truck. And your logs can be created, edited, exactly like you do your paper logbooks today. From there, we actually added a module that looks like this, that allows you to connect to the engine of the vehicle right here.
So that solves the problem of connectivity and the app reading the trucks or the ECM of the truck, which I keep telling a lot of you guys that if you just have the app and it's not connected to the engine, you could have issues with DOT.
Yeah, you can have issues. Now you can run without the engine connection, but I suggest you put a printer in the cab of the truck for the odd occasion when he's going to ask you to produce those logs. So you can do this, but more and more it's used the two systems together. Simple engine connected device, any driver can install it himself. Bluetooth connects to the smartphone and makes it 395.15 compliant, which is what the #1 compliant application is for hours of service logs.
Yeah.
Okay, all of that actually feeds into, for the driver, a nice to use system that goes back to the fleet that you're driving for, and allowing you, if I could get it over there, to let your fleet know exactly what your drivers are, latest statuses are. So this example here provides a dashboard of all hours of service compliance across the fleet. If I want to click on a specific driver, I click on their name. I can see that this driver's got 2 violations, and if I click on Sunday for this individual, there was a violation. You can see that this is his completed log with the vehicles he drove, including a sleeper stop in the middle here to sleep. But you can see that this driver actually did extend across and does have a violation right here. Now, that means he did not take a break. Okay, if I take a look at the next day for this said driver, you can see this was a trip from Kitchener, Ontario to Kansas City. The next day, the driver drove from Kansas City and ended up in Dallas, Texas. Okay, and there's the log for this driver as well. Okay, so that gives a nice, easy to use view of the logs. If I want to take a look at the trip sheet, that's a trip sheet view of that driver, all miles traveled by state. And then if I click on vehicle inspections, the vehicle inspections as well.
And it actually shows the signature,
Yes.
electronic signature.
Correct, both on the logs as well as on the inspections.
Okay, so now here's the biggest thing. On the phone itself, they pull into DOT, and DOT officer says, let me see your logs. What does the driver do?
At this point, the driver would click daily logs. He would go to inspect logs right here. If he clicks inspect logs, he goes, if he's in the United States, it's 7 days of logs are required. If he's in Canada, it's 14 days. He's in the United States. At that point, it's going to say view on screen, send an email, print to printer, or print to fax. And those are the 4 options to display your logs today. The enforcement officer, what we're finding a lot of times now, they're actually appreciating an email into the cab of their car or into the scale house, so they can see exactly what I was showing you up here. If they say view on screen, you touch view on screen, and there's your instructions for the enforcement officer. Of course, you have your driver card as well in the cab of the vehicle, which we provide, and the the enforcement officer reads these instructions and hits begin inspection. What that does is provides the previous 7 days of logs for him to view. Now you could turn recap on, recap off, you have all those options. You could turn it into horizontal mode to make it easier to read, but at this point, the enforcement officer is looking at your graph, looking at the chart, looking at all your duty status changes, go scrolling to the bottom for accuracy, including inspections and signatures.
Okay, so now here's the big question. A lot of us are familiar with the fact that it's connected to the ECM. When you shut off your truck and you stop, it automatically changes your logs over. So what happens if you don't have the module portion and you're just going off the app and off your phone? You have to manually do it?
No, or the GPS in the phone will do that as well. So when you go to off-duty to on-duty to start your day and start driving, you will be pinged, do you want to go into driving? It'll automatically go into driving. It's a setting in the application.
Okay.
So you set in the application, automatic duty status change to go into driving, and when you stop the vehicle, it will also ask you the other question, do you want to stop driving now?
Okay.
And go into on-duty, not driving.
So basically, if you're in like a traffic jam, it's not just going to automatically kick you into off-duty or on-duty.
That's correct.
It'll ask you first, and you can say, well, no, I'm in a traffic jam.
It's a one-button push.
One-button push.
Right,
okay.
So just touch the button on the screen and say, no, I'm still driving right now. Those records, those duty status changes will include city and state location all the time from the GPS on the device.
Okay, so now here's one question. Is this DOT approved?
Yes, it is.
Obviously.
We've been working for 4 years on this application. We've been working with small trucking. Today we are working with more than 1,700 fleets as customers that are using this application, and we don't have any issues over roadside at all.
Okay, so now here's the big question. I know a lot of you guys that are 1, 2, 10 truck fleets, you can tell your bosses, whatever. Those of you who are total independent, by yourself on the road, what's the cost to the independent owner-operator?
The independent owner-operator pays nothing. He can use the application for free. If he wants to get all of the back-end applications, as I was showing you up on the screen, it's $15 a month, and that is burdened by the fleet that they're driving for. So a fleet, a small trucking fleet of 10 trucks would pay $15 per driver per month, and that would be $150 a month.
Okay, so and then if they wanted to go for the extra and get the module connected so that it's connected to the ECM,
yep, that would be $10 a month. So that would bring the price to $25.
Total of $25 a month. Not a bad deal considering you already have the smartphone. You're not investing in the Qualcomm like a lot of people are thinking they're going to have to do.
Correct.
So this makes a very affordable solution for the small single truck to 10 truck, 20 truck, even the larger fleets obviously,
yes,
but more for the smaller fleets and owner-operators.
Absolutely. That's exactly why we started Big Road.
All right, guys. So there you go. That's the answer that a lot of you guys have been looking for and keep asking me on the Facebook page and on YouTube. So hopefully this will help you out. Again, you can find Big Road at
bigroad.com.
Can't get any simpler than that.
Got a stack of paper logs like we used to use yesterday when we still drove our trucks with pride. But now they cut back, my horse has got an E-log on the dash. Now I'm always running behind. Tell me it's for safety, but I'm way below the limit 'cause they taken all my power away. I'm cut back so slow and a bug hits my windshield and says get the hell out.